Hello again everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Jersey Shore Pondscapes Videos. My name is Chris. Today we are looking at video number 5 in a series of 5 on special and unique jobs and ponds that I've built in the past. So today's really pretty cool. I didn't build a pond here. Well, I kind of did, I guess, but that's, yeah, no, I really didn't build a pond. We have a natural pond on this property that when I originally got there, there was a big hill that came down from the front of the house, the driveway, and it came down to the pond, and once it got to the pond, it just dropped, right? Maybe about a 5-6 foot drop down to the water's edge. So it was really very inaccessible to get down to the water on this whole side of the pond. We wanted to open that up so that, you know, we could come down by the pond, walk around the pond, maybe build a little patio area, sit there and, you know, enjoy the pond, relax, sit under the shade of the trees. And do a whole bunch of landscape work around it and really make it a beautiful area rather than a big hole in the ground. Okay. We really didn't modify the pond at all. The pond it's a natural pond. I don't know the history of it, but it is not fed by any streams or rivers or streams. There's nothing going out of it. It's just a self-contained hole in the ground on the side of this property. And we wanted to make it beautiful. So we did a bunch of landscape work around it. I'll show you all the pictures. We did this all in stages. We did a big retaining walls and a patio and everything. The first project. The second project, we ended up doing a river that went from the pond, and it goes up toward the house on the back side of his property. We had a lot of problem with erosion down this hill, down this side. So we ended up berming a bunch of dirt to block the erosion. We put in drains with 4-inch pipes that came around and now feeding into this river. So when we get a heavy rain and all the water is running down the hill of this property, it's all being collected, it's going down drains, and it's being fed into this river stream bed that we built. I also have a pump connected to the pond that pumps water up to the top of the stream bed as well. So every day the pump is running and the stream bed is working. When we get heavy rains, you know, we get a little extra water coming down it as well. And it all works to fill this pond down the bottom naturally. So at the top of the river, we decided we were going to build a little waterfall and another little patio area. And I kind of wanted to make it that the little pond there with the waterfall is connected to the stream bed, but it's really not. It's a separate entity. It has its own little pump that recirculates the water from the little pond and up, you know, through the waterfall. But the way I kind of set the patio, looks like there's like a little bridge, like the water can flow underneath the walkway and then into the river and all the way back down to the main lake. So that was a second stage. The third stage of the project, we came back and we added more retaining walls and another patio and another river and a bigger waterfall on the other side of the main big lake, the main pond on the property. So it's really incredible. I hope you enjoy it. I'll show you a lot of pictures here and tell you all about it. And enjoy. Thank you. So here's the original pond. This is in the middle of summer. There was a lot of algae and little floating aquatic plant on the surface of the pond. But you'll see how this is a big hill
that goes down from the driveway by the house, goes down by the pond, levels out, and then just drops steeply. So this picture, I want you to remember, this is a picture of the side of the pond that we're going to be working on. The first stage goes from the far end of the pond on the right-hand side and works its way down halfway down under the tree line. So here we go. So what we're doing here basically is we are cutting in a new level by the pond. We're taking out that hill. We're cutting a nice flat layer that we can walk around by the pond, and we're adding a little peninsula. So all the dirt that came out of that hill, we put out into that little peninsula. We did another raised level behind it, where we did a rock wall. We filled it up with the dirt as well, and we are going to do a bluestone patio up there. So you'll see how this all starts to come together. We're doing that big long retaining wall. We kind of give it a little shape on that side. We got the little peninsula out, and then underneath those trees, we're going to do that patio area, so it'll be a nice shady spot to sit. So here we go. We're getting a little bit further down the road here, and we put a nice fence up along that retaining wall so that nobody trips and falls. But that little fence was really nice addition, actually. So here's a view from across the pond up toward the house. So you can now see, the patio, the different levels there, the whole retaining wall, and going up with that fence. So this is the opposite side of the pond now. We did a little patio area, which is right in the front of the picture, with a couple steps up, a retaining wall along the side of the pond, and then a couple gravel beach areas on that side, just to break it up and clean it up a little bit. Okay. So here's a nice sunny day, and you can kind of see this is pretty much completed. We also placed a couple boulders around the edge of the pond, around the water line as well, just to give it a little something extra, but it's a really beautiful property, and now they can utilize the pond. This was a look, obviously in the winter time, at that retaining wall and all the way, down along the pond's edge. This is just a shot across the area where we did the low little retaining wall and the little patio on the far side. And here's the fence again. Okay, so now this is going on the side of the property from the pond up toward the house. There was a big problem here with erosion. You can kind of see how the ground is eroded away and the grass is getting washed away. So what we did is we went on top, way past that tree right in the center of the picture, and we dug out a big berm. We built a berm there to collect all that water that's coming down the hill. And we ran drain pipes and drains in the ground, and we bored it around to a stream bed. So we transformed this whole area. So if you can see now, right straight ahead, there's a waterfall and a little patio area. Okay, just to the right of that is where we did the berm to catch all the water coming down the hill. And we're bringing those pipes down to this stream bed that we did. We did a whole natural stream bed down here. That we can pump all that water, that all that water can flow into, basically, when it rains. But we do have a large pump that's about 12,000 gallons an hour that runs this stream, pulls out of the pond 24/7, so that, the stream is always running and not just when it's raining. But these are just some overall views. So this stream is what comes right back into that gravel bed on the bottom. So these are just some views of the whole area around the pond. Really transformed this whole area big time. And, most importantly is we made it more... utilized. You can come down around the pond now and sit and walk around and enjoy it, whereas before it was really pretty inaccessible. So here's that riverbed that's going all up, down that side of the property. And we put a fountain in the middle of the pond as well. That fountain has 3 different fountain heads that can go on it, but that umbrella kind of thing is the one they seem to like the most. This is a shot of the stream going up, the little bridge. We did that little bridge over the stream there. They have a golf cart that they ride around the property on, and that little bridge, gives the golf cart access to the opposite side. So again, here's what it used to look like, right? Before we did all this riverbed, stream, and the whole bit, and this is that same area later on. So it really kind of beautified it, and it functions. It functions as far as the water erosion. This is the waterfall on the pond that's on the top. Now this waterfall does not actually connect to the stream. It looks like it does, but it is totally separate. That has a pump behind there. It's like a 6,000-7,000 gallon power pump behind that waterfall with a UV light, and it is self-contained. There's a skimmer on there where it pulls the water in and it just recirculates. But from there down, the stream is all fed. There we go. The stream is all fed by the natural pond and flows back down to it. So this is a view from the natural pond, and we're going to walk all the way back up the hill, follow the stream bed all the way up back to the natural pond itself. Sorry for some of the noise in the video. It's a pretty windy day there, and I really didn't have, I just shot it with my phone, so I don't have any kind of little puffy sleeve on the end of a microphone to deaden the wind, but you'll get the visual anyway. So when the wind's not blowing, the stream really has a nice soothing sound. It's a really relaxing sound. I've done several jobs in the past for people where it's just the sound of the running water that they want to hear. I had one gentleman in particular who is a big fly fisherman, and his whole thing was to recreate the sound of when he goes fly fishing and he's standing in the middle of the stream in his waders and the water's rushing past him. So that was the most relaxing thing that he knows of, and we actually did a riverbed for him. No really pond, no plants, no fish, just a little waterfall in the riverbed. So same kind of effect. The view of the whole run back down to the natural lake. It's really a beautiful property. Okay, so this is the next project. All right, this is on the exact extreme opposite side of the lake, on the very other side. We did another large waterfall that you can view from the front of the house as well as the driveway when you drive in and out. And this has a long, 100-foot long river as well that goes all the way back to that natural pond on the exact opposite side of the other one that you just saw. Obviously, we did this in the fall. It got quite cold out, but we finished it up. And then come springtime, we were able to really enjoy it, after we put down sod and landscaped it a bit more. So we did more retaining walls on this whole side. As you can see, right all the way on the far left-hand side is the original patio where the first project ended, and we picked up from there and we continued all the way over to the right. So dead center is where that river comes down from that big waterfall, and on the right there are 2 more little streams. You can see right here, just a little effect just to fill in this corner. We put another small pump in there that pumps up to a waterfall, and it splits two ways, and we have two little rivers that come down. So here's pretty much the entire side of that pond now. So if you remember from those pictures originally, it's quite a difference. A lot of rock, a lot of retaining walls. We had to deal with quite a bit of different elevations and hills, and really try to make that whole area as accessible as we could and usable. It's a beautiful area underneath those trees. It's nice shaded in the summer. We planted a bunch of flowers under there. I did a bunch of red astilbes, and I did a couple, some ferns and some other yellow perennials, and ligularia and stuff that really did well under the trees there. But really pretty here in the spring with the dogwood blooming. It all really ties in together, even though we did this in 2 stages. And right dead center of these retaining walls is a pathway that you can walk down from the end of the fence. You walk right straight on down, right to the water, and then you can go right or left either way. The stone staircase going up behind the patio there at the center of the picture. To take you up and down the different elevations. There's 2 staircases, one on each side of that patio actually. So quite a project. Took a long time with a lot of rock and a lot of kind of designing on the fly. So this was that original picture. So this is what it originally was, and this is what it turned into. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, there's a lot of designing on the fly here, you have a concept, you have an idea, you know what you're trying to do. But for me, I love to design on site. I don't like to sit home at a desk and draw pictures. I like to do it as I'm doing it, right then and there. And everything seems to fit much better, and everything flows. So these are some overall pictures of all around the property. We're going to end up here pretty soon with a couple more videos of just the entire property and everything. Again, I'm sorry about the wind. So this is the little stream that splits on both sides in the far corner. It was really just something to fill up that corner. I really didn't want to do any more retaining walls. I just kind of thought that a little water, give it a little action, would just give it a little extra something in that far corner. So yeah, that waterfall was really cool, that big waterfall, because it does kind of wrap around. So not only can we see it from the front in the driveway, we can see it from the house, and we can see it from the pond itself. So the very end of that waterfall kind of wraps all the way around the rock so that it can be viewed from like 270 degrees. Now you can kind of see the whole overall picture. Thank you very much.